What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Life's a Guard. Today's positive motivational messages. That's right, we got two of them this week. And the first one is trust the way you felt from a memory. And what I mean by that is if you remember something being special, you remember something being fun and exciting and you had a good time, but it's been a while. You only have that memory of that feeling. You can't explain the feeling, it's just something that you remember. Trust that instinct and trust that you can replicate that feeling. Likewise, if there's somebody that you have a memory of that you felt a certain way about, that let's say it's somebody that you remember them making you feel bad, or you remember them making you feel uncomfortable. Trust that feeling. Trust that memory of that feeling. Because this week, and I told you this last week, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to Sturgis this year. Me and my buddy Brad, we had talked about it. And then there was a part of me that was like, I don't know if I want to. But I remembered how much fun I had in the past going. And for more reasons than just that, it helped motivate me to want to do it again. And I was proven correct in trusting that memory and trusting those feelings. So that's the first one. And the second positive motivational message today is call your friends. Stay in contact with your friends, whether it's somebody you've haven't talked to in a long time, or maybe it's somebody you hang out with frequently. Reach out to them. This right here is your calling. This is your sign to do this if you haven't done it in a while. Call your friends, the ones you've been thinking about, or the ones that you even haven't thought about in a long time. Give them a call. Go meet up with them. Hang out. Reconnect. And that, because I got to do that. I got to do a lot of that this week, and it was very, very awesome to have gotten to do that. And we'll break it all down. We'll get right into it all. But I wanted to give you those two positive motivational messages for this week. And I got the whole Sturgis story to tell you. It's a good one. So why don't we ride on in to today's episode. If I can get these damn things on. There we go. We're going to ride on in to today's episode. It's episode 213 of Life's a Guard. Yeah, baby.
Life's a garden, dig it?
Welcome back to another episode of Life's a Garden. If you wouldn't mind, please like, share, subscribe, follow on all platforms. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, available on all podcast platforms. Really do appreciate it. Coming at you a day later than we usually post here. Coming at you on a Tuesday. Like to always post on Mondays, but we didn't get back from Sturgis until late Sunday night. I was so exhausted, dead. So I didn't want to set anything up and rush through the podcast. I wanted to actually give it the justice it's due, and I wanted to do it after the trip down there because I figured we were going to get lots of good stories out of it, and boy, did we. It was a great time. Really, really enjoyed it. Before we dive into all that, I do want to remind everybody out there. I don't even know if I've said this on the podcast yet. Speaking of bikes, speaking of motorcycles, and all that good stuff, August 24th, you can catch my band Cutthroat out at the Harley-Davidson. We are playing alongside Stranded by Choice. Great band. So excited to get to play with them for the first time. This is for the Road Dog toy run. The toy run that the Road Dogs put on every year. We've played this show, I think the last 3 or 4 years in a row. And it's the Kickstarter for the toy run. All proceeds, all benefit, everything that you do, whether it's food or alcohol, there's a silent auction out there. All proceeds go to benefiting the toy run for Christmas time. So, please come on out August 24th. I want to say it starts at 6 o'clock. Free admission for music. Everything else, all donations, everything will go to the to the toy run. So we really appreciate that, and I wanted to get that out there. So if you don't mind, come on out and enjoy some good music. I want to apologize off the top here if I sound super congested, because I am. If I'm sniffling into the mic at all, or if I happen to sneeze while on mic, I apologize ahead of time. My allergies absolutely have whooped my ass because I had to sleep outside, sleeping in a tent. So the allergies whipping my ass, okay? I apologize. It was a rough night of sleep last night. Just the congestion, the dripping, all the bullshit. And my throat hurts like hell. Good old hay fever allergies. Gotta love them. That's why I don't like camping that much, right? Or at least, maybe it's not why I don't like camping, but it's definitely, it definitely deters me from wanting to camp. And I'm sure if I camp more, I would build up a better tolerance. But I don't camp. I don't really do nature all that much. Now let's dive into this story. Let's bring it to the top, all right? So me and my friend Brad. Brad's been on the show a couple times here. My lifelong friend. This is my oldest friend. We've been friends since the first grade. We've known each other for 20 years. Every bit of 20 years. This all started last week. We went out on a Friday. It was the Friday just after my birthday. And we're hanging out, we're talking, we're bullshitting. We're outside, he's having a cigarette. And we're talking about his motorcycle. And he was asking me about my motorcycle that I got from my dad. To which, of course, I'll explain again, will probably never be ridden by me. If somebody else wants to ride it and stuff, that's cool, I don't care. I'm probably going to keep that thing because it was a gift from my father, my late father. But I've witnessed too much tragedy, too much death on the motorcycle. And in addition, I've just never had the itch to want to ride a motorcycle. So with those two things, it just seems like an unlikely scenario that I'll ever ride that thing. But we were talking about motorcycles and whatnot. And I had mentioned to him, hey, you realize Sturgis is happening right now. Like, the Sturgis rally is going on. And I think I just mentioned him. I was like, we should go. We should go next weekend. Let's go toward the end of the week. When it's all wrapping up, let's go down. And never did I think, I mean, this guy, he's got 2 kids, he's married, right? You know, it's hard to make last minute plans like that. Well, sure as shit. He tells me, I am so down, let me just cross some T's and dot some I's and make sure all my ducks are in a row, and I will let you know in the morning. He shoots me a text, he's like, dude, I'm so down to do this, let's go. So we make a plan, we make a game plan. Like I said before, I was a little bit on the fence whether I wanted to do it. Until when I was on the phone with him, he said to me, you know, we've been friends for 20 years. And we've never gone on a trip like this together. We've never just done a you and me trip. And this is 100% true. I've been to, my friend Mac. I've gone to like Vegas with him. We've gone to Denver several times. I've gone on trips with Aaron and Landon, my cousin, my brother. I've been on trips with my friend Eric several times. We've gone on trips to concerts, road trips, and things like that. Never has just me and my friend Brad, my oldest friend, gone on a road trip or traveled far and spent a couple nights in a place and hung out like that. Ever. When he said that to me, I fully was on board. Every doubt I had in my mind went out the window. I was like, this is 100% happening. This needs to happen. This is going to be a great time. This is going to be perfect. So we made all the plans. We made all the arrangements. We ended up leaving after work on Friday. We hit the road probably. We got off work a little bit early just so we could try and get there, so we could have some daylight when we're setting up camp, right? We left here about 4:30. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. God, I want to say we actually got there at 9, so we made some good time. Maybe we left a little. I think we might hit the road at 4. Yeah, we hit the road at 4 o'clock. So we got there about 9 o'clock. Now let me say this: a road trip with a friend is just awesome. To get to have that one-on-one experience, like you're trapped in a vehicle, but it's just you and them. You can tell stories that you have, especially with Brad. Brad's one of those friends that I can go a full year without talking to or seeing him. And it's like when I see him the next time or talk to him the next time, it's like we picked up just days before. You know? That's the kind of friendship I have with Brad. We can go days and months and years without talking to each other, and it's like it was yesterday. So this is the longest time I've spent with Brad in probably since we were fucking kids, doing sleepovers and stuff. Caught up on a bunch of stuff. We were telling stories. We were reminiscing, talking about our childhood and things like that. Just talking random movie stuff and old cartoons we used to like. You just find everything, every possibility, every possible like conversation piece comes up when you're with your friend. Plus you're jamming tunes, you're playing all your favorite music. It's a great time. A road trip with a friend is unlike anything else. So we roll into Sturgis. Excuse me. Sorry. Fucking allergies, man. We roll into Sturgis about 9 o'clock. The sun is just dipped. So it's dark enough that it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to set up these tents. Now, I've always stayed at the same campground, and I could not find it on Google Maps. I knew how to get there, but I wasn't sure the name. I had a small memory of it being called Eagle something, right? But I remember the way to get there. So I start driving. We're driving past another campground. I'm like, that's definitely not it. Found it. It's just right up the road from there. Eagles Landing is the name of the campground. And the reason we like staying there, multiple reasons. One, they have running water for like showers and bathrooms and stuff like that. They do have like a spot where you can get food, and they even have like a bar set up there. But the biggest one, they have a shuttle bus that will take you to and from the main street of Sturgis. So, and it's like, it's not free, but it's like $10 for a round trip per person. And that's not bad. So, and especially if you're going to be drinking and doing all that, absolute lifesaver. So that's why I like staying here. Fortunately, Brad brings like a big light, so we're able to set up the tents. I just bought myself a brand new tent. Super nice to get that out and use that. Luckily, had the air mattress. Had an air mattress. I'll never go camping without an air mattress in my life. And of course, so convenient having the Tacoma because it has an outlet that you can plug in. I was able to charge my phone with. I was able to fucking blow up the air mattress. Everything was great. By the time we get done, we hit the shuttle bus around 10 o'clock. It took us about an hour to set up camp. We head downtown, where we head to the main street. This is Brad's first time in Sturgis. This is my third time. Keep in mind. So I kind of know the ropes. I kind of know where to go. I know how to navigate and where everything's at. The first 2 times I went, I was with my dad, okay? And there's something a little bit, my dad's a fun dude. My dad had a lot of fun in his life. But it's still your dad. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little harder to let loose. It's a little harder to, like, really be yourself, I guess. And not, like, I'm drinking. There's hot chicks all over the place. Like, it's a little hard to, like, experience a lot of that with your dad. Even though he is, like, a fun dad. But I'm with my bro this time. So I can let loose a little bit more. I can be a little bit more like relaxed, you know what I'm saying? And I've done this before, so I'm showing him around now. First place we go, One Eye Jack's, best bar in Sturgis. It's the funnest one. There's like 22 different little bars within this giant bar. Plus there's live music. They had like girls doing fire dancing. They had hula hoop girls shooting like bow and arrows with their feet. You know, it's like Vegas. It's Vegas for bikers is exactly what it is. It's metal Vegas is how I would describe it. And so dude, let me just say this. Let me say this, okay? Out of the 3 times that I have been to Sturgis, I have a vague memory of there being a lot of attractive girls. It's a lot of like scantily clad, like very, very little clothing, okay? Bikinis, fishnets, a lot of shit like that, okay? Wild. It's a wild time. In the past, I remember there being a good amount of good-looking girls, but a lot of, older gals, very leathery biker women. That is not really my cup of tea, let's just say. This year, dude, oh my God. I would say it was by far, the most gorgeous group of women, bartenders, just people on the street. Dude, it was fantastic. Were there still leathery biker chicks? Yes. But there were just drop dead gorgeous women. And like I said, barely wearing anything. Now, you be respectful. You got a bartender there. You conversate, you have fun, you look, but you don't be obvious. You're not being a creep. You don't want to be a creep. But still, it's hard. And it's just a good goddamn time. Now, here's the thing. Something my dad would always do, whether we were at Sturgis or not, wherever we might be, if there was any sight of a decent-looking girl, he was talking to her. He was like, oh, you are so beautiful. Like, trying to hit on all these girls, just trying to run his swag, whatever little swag he might have had. I'm like, Dad, these hot young women don't want your wrinkly balls, okay? I'm sorry. R.I.P., Dad, but they didn't want your wrinkly balls. Now, here I am telling Brad, right? I'm telling my buddy Brad about this. I'm telling my buddy Brad, like, yeah, dude, when my dad comes out, he's like having to wipe the drool off his face when he's seeing all these girls, and he's like, that dog from the cartoon with the eyes that go, that's my dad, okay? Well, I came to find that I sure as fuck am my father's son. Because as I'm telling Brad this, as the night is progressing, and we're seeing all these other just gorgeous women, I'm finding myself nudging Brad on the shoulder, like, oh, dude, look at this one. Like, look at her. And then I would be gritting my teeth, like, God damn it, she's good looking. Dude, if I can't even describe to you how just absolutely gorgeous some of these women were. Like, I would dig my dick in the dirt just to feel their shadow. You know what I'm saying? This is like top tier. Just hottest chicks. And so that'll just cover the whole trip right there for you, because I could just talk about, yeah, we saw this hot chick here, we saw this hot chick. They were all gorgeous. And it was amazing. It made the trip very, and the best part is, my buddy Brad is married, so, like, I don't know. It was cool for him to get to, like, kind of get out of the house and see some ladies. But it's all just bartenders and a lot of them are just, performers and stuff. But the best thing for me is, if anything were to go down, your boy's the only one that can catch that shit, okay? That can catch through the wide open net. Anyway, I'm doing exactly what I said my dad does, and I'm like panting over these women, okay? But it's important for me to establish that, okay? Because the first bartender we went to might have been one of the best looking girls at the whole rally. But super nice, super friendly, just on top of her game. She was doing exactly what a bartender should do. Being charming, being friendly. And we ended up going back to that spot many times because of her, because she was so good. And yeah, because she was fucking hot. Yeah, that all led into that. So we kind of just bar hopped a little bit the first night because we only had a few hours. We just checked out a few spots. Decided we would go. Oh, let me tell you this. We caught ourselves a slice of pizza on the way back to the campground. They were selling it by the slice. Nothing better than a late night drunk pizza, right? Just nothing better. So we go to bed, had a terrible night's sleep. It was freezing cold at night. I only brought one blanket. I should have brought two. And then I was roasting in the daytime. There was a line of trees that we set up our camp next to. We should have went on the other side because then we would have been in the shade. No, we went to bed at 2 o'clock, probably a little after that, probably like 2:30. And I woke up at 8 o'clock roasting in my tent. It was so fucking hot. So I'm up, I'm just chilling, waiting for Brad to wake up. I didn't want to wake his ass up because that's rude. Plus, I wasn't in an exactly huge hurry to get back to drinking, knowing we were going to be doing it all day long. So we end up, I think we hit the road probably about 11 o'clock. We grabbed some breakfast, all that shit. Went out to Full Throttle Saloon. First time I've been out there since I've been going to Sturgis. That was the first time I had experienced Full Throttle. Super cool spot. I think it would have been a lot more fun to do it maybe at night. But we went during the day. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun spot to spend an evening. The only thing that's rough about it is a little ways out there. And it's a 1-lane highway. And if you're going late and there's, alcohol involved, that could be a little dicey. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like that shuttle bus. Nonetheless, it was early in the day. We didn't have much to drink. We had a couple beers at the Full Throttle. There was some live music. That's the other thing that's cool is live music everywhere, bro. Like every bar has a cover band, and a lot of them are really good. And so we hung out there for a little while, checked everything out, came back into town, caught the shuttle bus to the main street, and now we got more time to really take in more of the bars. So we're taking in a lot more of the bars. You know me, I end up finding a karaoke bar and singing. I had to do some songs myself. And then we made our way to the strip club. And if I remember right, I've told the stories in the past of me coming to Sturgis. And if I remember I told it correctly, I've been to this strip club. My dad took me to the strip club. First strip club I've ever been to with him. First and only, actually. But the problem is, in South Dakota, it seems like, I don't know if this is state law or if it's just to the discretion of the dancers. But, it's topless only. They have to wear bottoms. And they wear pasties over their nipples. So it's basically, what's the point? I can see that outside, right? I can see all that outside and more sometimes. You get a drunk chick out there wearing basically nothing. There's not a whole lot else to take off when they're getting wild. And so we're just like, whatever, let's go check out the strip club. So we go up there, and dude, not the same as last time. There was a couple chicks walking around without pasties, and I'm like, all fucking right. So I go and grab $40 worth of ones. I give 20 to Brad, and I take 20 myself, and we're having a grand old time. We're playing a team game. I'm like, you put down some money, and you get yourself a little dance, and I'll enjoy from this close a distance, and then I'll do it, and we'll just go back and forth, and we got this whole system figured out, right? And there was this just stunning. I'm talking, this chick was laying some bricks because she was ready to make a brick house. This girl, because she's a brick house. Gorgeous. she was the last dancer we saw before we ran out of money, and Brad was getting ready to go downstairs to smoke a cigarette, and I'm like, dude, I might have to get myself a private from her. Right after I told Brad, don't get any private dances. Don't get any private dances. And I said, dude, I think I might have to get a private dance from this girl. But my better judgment got a hold of me. I knew if I had done that, I would have spent so much money. So I just said no. We went back downstairs. We walked around to a couple more bars. And then the Iron Horse Bar and Saloon, or whatever it's called, they do free concerts every night during the rally. And this night, it was Yellow Wolf, okay? I've heard of Yellow Wolf. I've never listened to Yellow Wolf. We had gone to Iron Horse earlier in the day, and it was just like barren. There wasn't a lot of people there. I think they were setting up for some openers and whatnot. But we kind of walked around, so we got the lay of the land. I've been there before, but he hadn't. When we went back, I kid you not, I've been to 3 different shows at the Iron Horse. This was my 3rd show. I have never seen it that packed. It was unbelievable how many people were there. And let me tell you this. I'm not a huge rap hip-hop guy, right? I like a little bit. I can respect. This dude crushed. He won me over big time. The first 2 songs, he's like up on his DJ booth and he's like literally just, he's like fucking just hitting bars. It was awesome. He won me over big time. And then he played a couple songs that I actually did recognize. Me and Brad are just sitting here. It's like my best friend. Like I'm here with one of my best friends. They were singing that song Best Friend. It was awesome. Fucking dudes passing around a joint. I took a couple hits off of a joint. Guy's got a fucking like bottle he's passing around, so we're taking swigs off of that. Oh, I forgot to tell you this one. This was a pretty funny one. We were at the karaoke bar, and I'm sitting up at the bar. My buddy Brad goes out to smoke, and this older, like I'm talking in her 50s, maybe even her 60s. Sorry, my tattoos are sliding. I gotta pull them down. This older British woman. She was like English, British, whatever. I catch out of the corner of my eye. She's like playing with this other older gal's titties. And I'm like, what? I just like happened to catch it and I just kind of was like, whoa, okay. And she saw me and she's like, oh, honey, it's Sturgis. Now, great. Now, that was supposed to be a British accent, but I fucked it up. She goes, it's Sturgis. Like, calm down, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. And she's like, she sat down at the bar next to me and we're like having a little bit of a conversation. She buys a round of shots for me, her, and her friend. And then like she had squeezed it was a lemon drop. She squeezed the lemon into my drink. So there was like seeds and shit in there. And I'm trying to drink the shot without getting choking on seeds. So I'm spilling a little bit down my beard. And I told her that. I was like, oh shit, I spilled all over myself. And she thought I said that she had spilled on herself. So she leans over and goes, will you lick it off my face? And I'm like, I was in my head, I was like, oh man, I really don't want to do that. But before I could even finish the thought, I just go, well, I'm like, no. And she was like, oh, you can do better than that. I'm like, come on, give me a break. I did some crazy thing that I didn't think I would, that I didn't really want to do. But I took her advice and said, yeah, it's Sturgis. Let's just have some fun. Now, here's where the night takes a little bit of a turn, okay? After the Yellow Wolf concert, we go back to the karaoke bar, the one I was just telling you about. And me, of course, being the absolute attention whore that I am, I gotta sing one more song. So I saved the best for last. I had saved, I do Come Together by the Gary Clark Jr. version of Come Together. The Beatles' Come Together. That is my coup de grace. That is my like main song that I've been doing lately. So I put that in. I threw the guy a tip. And because I threw him a tip, he's like, okay, well, you're up next, brother. I was like, oh, shit, okay, right on. I went and grabbed some drinks, went up and sang my song, crushed it, naturally, did a great job. But here's the mistake I made. I should have not, I wanted to tip him, right? I should have tipped him after I sang. I shouldn't have gotten bumped up. the list, okay? Because now we're sitting here. Several other people have sang. And of course, once again, being the absolute attention whore that I am, I gotta sing another one. Like I can't just let it go. I gotta sing another one. But my phone is dead at this point, okay? My phone's dead. So I can't look at my list on my phone. So I think, what would really hype this crowd up? What's going to get this crowd bopping, right? So I come up with Show Me How to Live by Audioslave or Beer for My Horses by Toby Keith. Now the options we have here at our availability are a really, really awesome rock song by Audioslave that's super, super fucking difficult to sing. Or we have this pretty fun-loving country song that's super, super easy to sing. Now, I've been drinking since noon, and at this time, it's probably about midnight. Okay? It's about midnight at this point. So I got about 12 hours of drinking under my belt. And of course, you know, what do I choose? The song that I can barely sing sober. I chose Show Me How to Live, Audioslave. And if you're following where this story's going, I absolutely fucking butchered it. Butchered it. Embarrassing in embarrassing fashion. Did such a shitty job. Blew my fucking voice out. That's part of the reason why my voice is so crackly. It's not because of the allergies, actually. It's because I blew my voice out. What did the pony say when he walked into the bar? Or what did the... Fuck. I just fucked the joke up. Fuck. I can't even believe I just completely spaced that out. I fuck that. Anyway, I might just cut that part out. Now we're leaving it in. We're full throttle on this shit. We're going full throttle. I fuck up a joke, we keep on going. Anyway, because I'm lost in the story. And actually, you know what? You know what it is? You know why I fucked that joke up? Because I'm going back. My brain is going back to the way I felt in that moment. And I am just so red hot mad thinking about it. Because, and here's why, okay? Not because I fucked up. Yeah, it's partially because I fucked up, and I feel like I should have done better. But I forgive myself for fucking that song up because it is a very difficult song. Here's the problem, okay? A, I should have done the easier song. Duh. It wouldn't have been, even if it went over fine, it wouldn't have gone over bad, okay? And the second thing is, I didn't need to sing at all. We could have just left. Like, I sang my song. I sang the good one. The one I'd been saving. I sang it. I did good. I didn't need to do a second performance. And I fucked it up. So by the time we're done with that song, I'm like, we gotta get the fuck out of here now. So we go back to One-Eyed Jacks. I'm pissed off, right? We go back to One-Eyed Jacks. And, I go up to that bartender. The bartender that we started with. I'm like, we started with her. I'm finishing. She's going to be my last bartender. I'm going to drink from her, and then we're leaving. So I go up to the bar and order a shot and a drink because I'm drowning in my sorrows because I feel like I'm just absolute piece of shit for fucking that up. Because I'm thinking, I sing in a band. I should be able to do better. But also, I'm just beating myself up for even doing it in the first place. I knew better. I knew that that song is difficult to sing. And that's what I wanted to close on? Fucking idiot. So, of course, I take my shot. I take my drink. She actually took a shot with me. And my fucking... Remember what I told you at the beginning of this? You don't be a creep. You don't be fucking weird or rude or anything like that. My drunken fucking dumbass looks her dead in the eyes, and I go, you know, you're one of the most beautiful... Let me put the drunk voice on. I think you're one of the most beautiful girls at this whole rally. You've been nothing but sweet to us. We appreciate you, and I just wanted to let you know that you're just so beautiful. And I'm not trying to hit on you. I swear I'm not. I just wanted to let you know. Like, she knows she's fucking hot. She knows she's hot. That's why she's wearing fucking short shorts and a fucking tied up shirt. She knows she's a fucking brick house. You don't need me to tell you. In my drunken, slobbery, stupid phase of my day. Anyway, so I made an ass of myself again. And as I'm sitting at the bar, Brad had told me that he was going to go check out the band in the other room. I didn't hear that. I thought he was going to the bar just right next to where we were at. So I drunkenly get up and try and find him. Nowhere to be found. I'm looking all over the place. I think he's outside smoking. I'm just bouncing back and forth. And I think, okay. Because here's the deal. He has the only working phone. My phone is dead. He has the only working phone. And I have the phone number to the shuttle bus. So if he doesn't find me, he doesn't get home. If I don't find him, he doesn't get home. Or we're walking. So I'm looking all over the place. I'm panicked. There's cops everywhere, by the way. So I look like I'm fucking probably high on drugs because I'm drunk and panicking. Don't know where this dude's at. And then I think, well, if I go sit back where I was at, he'll find me. And also in my head, I'm thinking, he's trying to find me, I'm trying to find him. Now we're both lost. But I thought, if I go sit down at the bar where I was at, he will come find me. But then, of course, embarrassment hits again because I'm like, I just made an absolute fool of myself in front of this girl. I don't want to go sit in that embarrassment anymore. So I go back on the search. Finally, found him at absolute the most relief. I was panicking and now I'm like, thank God, dude. I was freaking out. Found him. We ended up making it back to the campsite. Just in time as it starts like pouring rain. Which was a godsend because it made it so much easier to sleep. Next day, actually surprisingly, crazy enough, was not hungover. Just slightly hungover. We go down, we decided to end the trip in Deadwood. So we go down to Deadwood. We kind of checked out some of the historical spots. Had one of the best burgers I've ever had. And then came home. And it was a great trip. And next year, I will absolutely be doing it again. Hopefully Brad will be along for the ride as well. He seemed pretty stoked about it. He seemed like he wanted to do it again. Absolutely we'll be doing it again. Like and probably for at least 3 or 4 days is what I'm going to do. Because it was a blast. Had such a good time. Just a couple of biker boys. And that's biker boys with a Z, baby. That brother right there. And this, I'm going to use this term for both biker as biker terminology, and also that's my ride or die homie right there. Ride or die. If I ever needed anything in my life, I could call him up and he would be there. If I ever needed any help, that's my guy. And we ride or die to Sturgis. We ride or die. We're biker boys that didn't even ride bikes. He rides a bike, but I do not. It was a great time. So thank you, Brad, for joining me on that adventure. We had a great time. I think I probably could have done a little better telling those stories if I wasn't so fucking congested and just absolutely tired, to be honest with you. I'm still reeling from that trip because it was literally, we got there, started drinking. Woke up, started drinking. We went hard in the paint. But we had a great time. We got everywhere safe. Everything was great. And that's why I like staying at that shout out to Eagle Landing campground. They did a great job. And they always do a good job. All right. Also, while we were down there, we happened to catch a couple of Olympic events, namely the women's basketball victory. Women's basketball won gold, as did the men's. Congratulations to both of them. Now, I know I talk a lot of shit about women's basketball, right? Not because it's bad. It is a little bad. But that's not why I talk shit. It is slightly boring, but it is getting more exciting. I will give them that. It is getting better. The talent level is growing. It's the thing I hate about it is the absolute simping over it lately. The amount of people that are just like, it's just being shoved down your throat. Like you're being forced it, okay? One point I want to One point I want to bring up. Brittany Griner, okay? 2 years ago, Brittany Griner was locked in Russia, an enemy country. She got captured by Russia after smoking weed in their country, which is a felony. We traded the mercenary of death. The merchant of death, I think is his name. Traded a high-level terrorist for this WNBA player to come home. And 2 years later, she's in the Olympics representing the United States. And what does she do during the national anthem? Sits. Now, how patriotic is that? Your fucking country traded a terrorist, a fucking criminal of war for you, so that you could come home to your family and be fucking gay and have a life of fame and luxury, and you get to play in a sport that's on national television. You get to represent your country in basketball. You get to have a kid with a woman that you can't do most places in this world. And you decide to fucking disrespect the United States of America while wearing USA on your chest and not stand for the national anthem. Fucking take her gold medal away. Take it away. She don't fucking deserve it. Absolute bullshit. I wanted to call me Pops. She's got a fucking deeper voice than I do. She said, when asked about her kid, the interviewer said, "And you're gonna be a new mom. How exciting, Pops. I want the baby to call me Pops." That's a dude, bro. That chick's a dude. But guess what? You get to do that here in the United States. So how about you stand up and show some fucking respect? Anyway, had to get that one off my chest. More Olympics things. LeBron James won MVP for the Olympics men's team. Okay, he was named the MVP of the men's basketball. I'm curious who the women's was. Oh, by the way, also let me just say this about the women. I'm watching them all play. These are the best of the best, by the way. The score was 60-something to 50-something. It was like 63-60 or 63-59. These are supposed to be the best of the best, and you can barely score 80 points. But that's beside the point. You know, you're watching so many fucking missed layups, and if I wanted to watch 40 minutes of bad passing and missed layups, I go to a middle school basketball game. Anyway, I was just thinking, like, surprisingly enough, because for the most part, WNBA players have been ugly, and boy, are they ugly. I feel like there's actually been more attractive women's basketball players lately. There's that one really tall blonde girl. I can't remember her name, but she's really good looking. And you know, the one with the eyebrows, she's actually not too bad. And you know who I'm talking about. The one with the weird eyebrows. But she's like, if her eyebrows weren't so weird, she'd actually probably be like an 8. But she's probably like a 7 with those fucking eyebrows. And the rest of them are like, some of them are decent. Not as bad. And then you got the Brittany Griners. And there's that one white girl that looks like she looks like she's in desperate need of makeup. She just looks like a goddamn, like, she looks like a white trash girl that just rolled out of the fucking gutter, is what she looks like. No disrespect, but actually that's a lot of disrespect. So I guess full disrespect to you for that. There's that other girl who's got the really, like, tiny eyes that are really close together. She's pretty cute too. Such a backhanded compliment. Anyway, the LeBron James was named MVP for the men's basketball tournament. No, because, and I'm telling you right now, it's because it's his last one. He ain't doing this again. Steph Curry 100% deserved the MVP. And I'm not a huge Steph Curry fan. I respect Steph Curry just like I respect LeBron James, but I'm not like a dick-sucking fan of his. The only reason the United States men's basketball team played for gold is because Steph Curry saved their ass against Serbia. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I watched all of that game. I was at work watching Serbia versus the United States because my boy Nikola Jokic, who plays for the Denver Nuggets, is on Serbia. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. As I'm watching, there's a part of me that is rooting for Serbia. Not because I'm rooting against America. It's because I'm rooting for my guy, Jokic. There's a few reasons here, okay? I'm rooting for Jokic because that's my guy. I hate almost every player on the U.S. team as far as like their NBA status. I fucking almost hate all of them, actually. And I'm not going to lie to you. It was pretty cool to watch a bunch of European white dudes absolutely dominate against the world's best players from the United States. It was pretty fucking awesome. And every single one of those dudes looks exactly the same. But U.S. ended up winning, which I was fine with. It's still the U.S. I still want the U.S. to win gold. It would have been pretty cool to see Serbia win, only for Jokic's sake, and because it would have been a huge upset. But the only reason they won, make no bones about it, the only reason the United States beat Serbia was because of Steph Curry. That is 100% why. They only won by 4 points. They were down by 17 at one point. Embiid had a nice run there. I'm not going to discredit anybody else. Embiid had a decent run. LeBron did have a small run there. KD came in and did some damage. But for the most part, Curry lit it up. The reason they won gold is because Steph Curry. And Steph Curry did the same thing against France. He fucking crushed them. So Curry is the true MVP of the Olympics. For sure. It's a travesty that they didn't give it to him. Other Olympic things that happened, we had the breakdancing breakdown. That was hilarious. The Australian girl. Now, I think it came out already that she did it on purpose. She knew what she was doing. She was on a world platform. A lot of people were tuning in for this because it was the first time the breakdancing had ever been in the Olympics. And she purposefully, it sounds like, she purposefully did all the bullshit that she did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. It's really hard to watch. But it sounds like she did it on purpose. She's won world championships at breakdancing. So she clearly knows what she's doing. But now she's the talk of the town. She's all these memes. She knew what the fuck she was doing. I don't believe for a second that those were her actual dance moves. She's been in competitions before. There's a reason she was representing Australia for the Olympics. I wonder how Australia feels about it, though. I wonder how the people of Australia and the Australian government feels about her representing them like that. We had the dude that lost the pole vault because of his pole. You see that one where his dick knocked down the pole? He got offered $250,000 to be in a porno, which not bad money, brother. I mean, you don't make very good money in the Olympics, especially if you lose. You might, dude. And honestly, he won. He really did. He won the Olympics. Even if you don't win gold, if you become a meme or you're the talk of the town, and the thing you're known for is having a big dick, bro, you won. That's what every dude wants to be known for. And you got to do it on the world stage. You won. Don't hang your head high, or don't hang your head low. Yeah, you didn't win any gold or silver or bronze, but you won the hearts of every guy and girl. Every guy wants to be you. Every girl wants you to be in them. So, fuck it, right? Fuck it. Thank you. Good for him. Good for him. He won. And then my favorite thing I think that I've seen is that little Chinese girl when she looks over and sees the two Italian girls biting their medal, and then she kind of goes, oh, she didn't realize that was kind of a thing. And then she kind of just is nibbling on hers. Very cute. And I like all the little illustrations, the anime illustrations of that. That was probably the most wholesome moment of the Olympics. Very, very fun. We also have NFL action. while I was down there in Sturgis, or actually I was in Deadwood when this is happening, got to catch the Broncos preseason game. Preseason has begun. We are just a few weeks away from NFL season starting, and we're even less far away from college football, which is awesome. Very excited for all of that. Bo Nix looked great in his time with the Broncos on the field. Really was excited about that. Bo Nix was the guy. That was cool. What else happened? I'm trying to think of other like football shit that's been going on. Because we are getting in, and I had a whole list in my head of like topics on football matter. But now I don't remember. I know apparently Caleb Williams, who was the first overall draft pick this year, he made all these crazy demands. He made all these crazy demands about wanting his mom to be on the staff as like a therapy consultant for him. So she'd be making money so that he can go like crying her into her bosom. I think he wanted an actual nail technician on site at all times because he likes his nails painted. This kid better just fucking come out and be an absolute monster, because if he sucks balls, and I'm telling you right now, I want him to suck balls because he's being such a cocksucker. I want him to suck cock because he's being a cocksucker. And let me tell you something. People, anybody out there who demands anything from anybody deserves none of it. You don't deserve jack shit. Because you're going to act like that, you're going to lose the faith of your fans and your teammates. Nobody's going to want to back you up if you're acting like an asshole. Don't matter how good you're playing. And guess what? His attitude will come back to bite him 100%. So that was one thing I saw. But what else? What else? I'm just excited for football, man. I'll be down in Denver during the first game of the season. I'm a little upset about that, actually, because the Broncos play the Seahawks, and Aaron is a Seahawks fan. My cousin Aaron's a Seahawks fan. I would have loved to watch that game with him. But unfortunately, I will be in Denver, which is also cool. I'll get to watch the first game of the season in Denver. Can't be too upset about that. What else is going on in football? No real big injuries yet. No real big trades or anything like that. Just been excited to watch some preseason football. I did like the Broncos' new uniforms. Seeing them in action, it gave me a little bit more of a perspective on how much I like those uniforms. So that's been good. I'm happy about that. What else with football? I thought I had a bunch. I don't need to bore you with football talk, right? Because you know how this is going to go. I mean, what's going to happen here? I am just a few short weeks away from my life completely being dedicated to football again. Because I've been into college football now too. So my weekends are going to be completely just shot from here on out. It's going to be back to just football. So I'm enjoying the last few weeks before I get completely locked down and like just trapped by the game of football again. And I don't know if I mentioned this either. Me and my buddy Mac, we are going down to Vegas for a Broncos-Raiders game. That'll be fun. Looking forward to that. First time seeing a game in Vegas. Oh yeah, I did mention that because I said that I was doing all the same trips again. But that was cool that I got to do the Sturgis trip too, because that added a little just variety, you know? And it's not that far. It's like 4 hours away, 4.5 hours away. Quick trip. I mean, it's worth just going. If you haven't gone, I'm telling you, it's worth it. Whatever your thoughts about biker culture, it's not nearly as like crazy as people make it out to be. It can get a little rowdy, but just be respectful. That's all that matters. You just gotta be respectful. So it was a great time, man. It's a metalhead fucking Vegas is how I would describe it. It was awesome. I guess, okay, last point here. The main crux of this show was supposed to be about the trip, just retelling the trip of Sturgis, and it was a good time. Enjoyed it very much. I do want to talk about this. And I saved this for the end, just like I did last week. Last week I talked about Deadpool, and I felt like I had some spoilers in there. Sorry if you caught any of those. And now I'm going to talk about House of the Dragon. I have a confession to make, first of all. If my mother is listening to this, I sincerely apologize to you. Because we originally started watching... We watched the full season 1, and we watched episode 1 of this season. Mom got a new job. Hang on. God damn it. I almost made the whole episode without sneezing once. Fuck. Feel a little better, though. Okay. So, Mom got a new job. We weren't able to watch the show on the same time that we were planning on watching it, which is Wednesdays. Show comes out Sunday nights. I wanted to watch them on Wednesdays so that I could not get spoilers or anything like that. And then when I realized, her schedule, my schedule, they weren't really adding up very well for us to be able to do that on a weekly basis. Mom, I sincerely apologize to you, but I watched the whole thing. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to watch the whole thing. So I'm fully caught up. I've seen all of it. And now, first things first, I could tell my mom this. Didn't miss a ton. There's not a ton of huge star-studded action that really goes on in this season. And a lot of people have been bitching about that, okay? There's been a lot of complaining about how slow the series has moved from season 1 to this season, and how, there wasn't a shit ton of action. We had a couple episodes where there's some good action. But it's really been pretty slow moving. All the characters seem to stay in the same area. There's not a lot of character development happening until the end. There was a little bit of character development going on towards the end of this season. But what I thought, I had to sit and think about this, because I was bitching quite a bit too, where it's this was a boring episode, not really a whole lot happened. But when you think about all that transpired throughout this season, this was a setup season. There was a lot of exposition. There was a lot of ground laying, a lot of brick laying to make it go into what hopefully will be an epic season 3. I think that's what's happening. I think this season was laying the ground for what is to come in season 3. And I think we will look back and respect and enjoy season 2 more after we see season 3. That's what I think. And really, when you think about it, it's hard, because we live in a time where attention spans are very small. We want high-flying action and stuff. You don't see a lot of shows nowadays where they're really laying down the characters, where they're really laying down the story plots. And this was one of those. They actually spent the time to flesh out some of the story and flesh out some of the characters. In addition, I also heard the writer's strike was a big problem with this, and that's why it kind of was a little bit slower. Why the action, there was less action stuff, because, the budget wasn't quite there for this one. But, nonetheless, I like that they're fleshing it out. I'm still along for the ride. So, Mom, if you want to watch the rest of it, go for it. Please, be my guest. Or we can watch it together again. I don't mind going back and watching through it again. Was it the best season? Not really. But I think it's going to pay off. I think we're gonna realize that it was a lot better than people have been giving it credit for. So, there is that. And fuck, I was trying to think of that joke again. So a pony walks into a bar. The bartender says, God damn it, I can't remember how it goes. Basically, it says, the horse goes, I'm a little hoarse. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse. Whatever, you figure it out for yourself. Bartender says, what can I get you to drink? And the pony says, I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I'm a little hoarse. Got it. Finally. Boom. clip it together. We'll cut it together and we'll make it seamless. It'll look perfect, and it's like none the wiser. None of the wiser. Nah, we ride or die on this thing. I fuck up jokes. I tell long-winded stories, and you are along for the ride. You are the ride or dies. You stick around to the end of the show. You listen to the shitty jokes. You listen to the long, drawn-out stories that hopefully are kind of entertaining. You're the ride or dies. My buddy Brad is a ride or die. And we ride or die into the sunset, guys. Thank you all so very much for listening. I appreciate it, and I apologize for my shitty voice, my stuffed up nose. We'll get back to it next week. But until then, make sure to remember those feelings from your past, from your memories. Don't forget those memories, because you can always draw back on them. And call your friends. Call your ride or dies. Get with them. Talk to them. Whatever you gotta do. Stay in contact with those ride or dies, baby. And most importantly, don't forget, life's a guard. Dig it.